Hare Krishna. Today is Jaya Ekadashi. So we will read the glories of Jaya Ekadashi. To Maharaj Yudhishthir, as Sri Krishna, O Lord Sri Krishna, O original personality of Godhead, O Lord of the universe, you are the original cause of the four types of living entities, namely those born from prostration, from seeds, from eggs, and from embryos. You alone are the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of everything. Please describe the glories of the Ekadashi that occurs during the waxing moon in the month of January, February. Also, please explain the procedure for observing this Ekadashi and which deity is to be worshipped on this auspicious day. So, Lord Krishna replied, O best of the kings, Yudhishthir, the Ekadashi that occurs during the waxing moon in the month of January February is celebrated as Jaya Ekadashi. Following this, Ekadashi removes all of one's sinful reactions. The performer of this Ekadashi is never subjected to accept the body of a ghost. O king, as far as avoiding liberation and exhausting one's sinful reactions are concerned, this Ekadashi has no substitute. Now, please hear the description of this Ekadashi, which I had previously narrated in the Padma Puran. So, Krishna had already explained this knowledge in the Padma Puran. But also, even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that I first spoke this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to who? To Surya Devta, right? The sun god. But then, over time, what had happened slowly, as generations passed along, that knowledge became lost. So Krishna manifest also to give that knowledge back, to show people the right path. Today, these days in this Kali Yuga, everything that used to be a sin in the different yugas has now become normal. It has become the trend. If you do not do it, you're not cool enough, you're not good enough to hang out with those people. Drinking alcohol, eating meat, all of these things, gambling, everything, all of these things have become the norm. Just imagine the first time someone saw a human being killing an animal and eating. That person was so shocked and perplexed. Right? So, whatever used to be sinful previously is slowly is becoming the norm and being accepted that everybody does it. In fact, everybody automatically thinks that you are eating meat, you're eating everything. And then if you say, I do not eat this, or if I'm vegan, or I do not eat eggs, or anything, people are shocked and surprised. Right? So Krishna over here is narrating this for our benefit. Krishna is the supreme eternal father, Mame Vansha Jiva Loke. Right? All of the living beings, I'm the father of all of the living beings, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. And just like how a father or mother, they wait for the child in the night to come back home, Krishna is also waiting for us to come back home. And he gives us that one more opportunity of for getting rid of all of our sins through fasting for this Ekadashi. Krishna was just describing there's no substitute for this Ekadashi fasting. Right? So we should try and fast for the Ekadashi wherever possible and skip the grains for this day, because on this day all of the sins go and lie in the grains. On this day they hide in the grains. So the demigods, so this is the Katha in the Padma Puran that Krishna had already previously narrated. The demigods were living happily in the heavenly kingdom of Indra under his rule. In the Nandanana Kanana forest, The Apsaras freely enjoyed their lives. Indra also enjoyed various exchanges with his Apsaras. Once Indra arranged a dance festival of 50 million Apsaras. In that assembly there was a Gandharva, singer named Pushpadant. Another Gandharva, Chitrasen, came there along with his wife Malini and daughter. Chitrasen had a son named Pushpavan, whose son was Malyavan. A Gandharvi named Pushpavati became attracted by the beauty of Malyavan. Pierced by the sharp arrows of Cupid, beautiful Pushpavati tried to bring Malyavan under her control with her gestures and glances. On seeing beautiful Pushpavati, Malyavan became completely captivated. To please Indra, both Malyavan and Pushpavati began to perform dancing and singing with the other Apsaras in that dance festival. But since both were attracted to each other, they could not perform well. As a result, there was a disturbance in the performance of the dancing assembly. Continuously glancing at each other from the corner of their eyes, they both became pierced by the arrows of Cupid. When Indra noticed the perpetual disturbance in the process of singing and dancing, he understood their mental condition. He felt insulted and cursed them. Both of you are sinful fools. I curse you to accept the bodies of a male and female ghost and take birth in the earthly planet to suffer the result of your karma. So over here, because they were causing disturbance, Indra gave them a curse. And you will see that in one way or another, right? Everyone who is cursed comes down to this earthly planet. So you may think that this is a big curse to be on this earthly planet over here as a living being. While it may be a curse, it is also the biggest benediction, the biggest boon that we can have. And that too to be born during this Kali Yuga. Because in this valuable human life, we have the opportunity to go back to Godhead, to get out of this material suffering of birth and death. So everyone is cursed, and even over here you will see that they are cursed. But then we will read how they become freed and attain a planet even higher than the heavenly planets. Right? Today, we are all over here in one way or another have some form of suffering over here. Because Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita, there are four things, right? Birth, disease, old age, and death. The first over here is already applicable to us. We all have taken birth. There's no going back. Is there anyone who can go back in the mother's womb or go back and say, that's it, this is not my body, I'm going back, I want to go elsewhere? No, we have all taken birth. And second, we all know that if one has taken birth, one has to die. We are all in that line. Right? Some people die now, some people have already died, those are gone. And some people are dying as we speak. People may be in the hospital, people may be suffering from something. Right? People are dying right now. And then there's a line of people waiting to die, right? That are in line, and one day their death will come. So, birth and death, we already know we cannot do anything about that. Now, the other two, right? Diseases and old age. If we don't have any diseases, we'll start getting old, our body becomes weak, we cannot move around, we cannot do anything. Or if we are young and if a disease catches us, then that continues to bother us, bother our loved one, trouble us, trouble our loved ones. So, there is no going back from here. The birth is already there, death is already there. Old age and disease are running behind us to catch us. And as soon as one catches us, the death gets closer. So before we leave this body, we won't even realize when our death will come. Just yesterday, the deputy CM of Maharashtra was traveling in his own private jet. He went to a village. It was so foggy they could not see anything. The plane thought that the pilot thought he had some more room to go before hitting the runway. But the runway was already there and the plane crashed and five people died. Right? Who would have told him that this is going to be your last day, your last plane ride? Do not go. Right? No, that there's no one that can tell us that. We don't know when death may strike. So we should use every single moment towards remembering that Supreme Lord, remembering Krishna. Right? What did Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj do from young age? 4, 5, 6 years old, they began remembering chanting Krishna's name. Even Gurbani sings, Naam japio ji aise aise, Dhruv Prahlad japio har jaise. And the names of the Lord that Dhruv chanted, that Prahlad chanted, we are chanting that same Hari's name, that same Krishna's name we are chanting. Krishna has thousands, hundreds and thousands and millions of names. Any name you like, chant of Krishna. And yes, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is said to be, that's why it is called Maha Mantra. There are various mantras through which we can chant Krishna's name, but Hare Krishna for the Kali Yuga, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, has been recommended as the Yuga mantra for this Kali Yuga. Right? So try and chant as much as we can. Because we don't know why we are here. If we're suffering our karmas, if we're suffering for a curse, but now we are getting this opportunity to get out. Look, even if you keep a bird in a cage of gold, right? What difference does it make? The bird is still in the cage. The bird is still suffering. He's not free to roam around. So we may think this world is so great. We have this family, we have this house, we have cars, we have friends, we have this life, we have so much entertainment, right? To the end of the day, this is still a cage for us. We may think we have so much money we're enjoying. We have all of this stuff to enjoy. This life is so good. But at the end of the day, it is a cage. And we don't know when we will leave this body and then go into another birth. Before that happens, right, we should chant as much as we can. Fast for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Guru and Krishna must be getting so pleased when we fast for Ekadashi. Right? That they're just chanting for my pleasure. A lot of people, they perform fasting, they perform all of these other yagyas or anything else that Krishna, that if you give me this, or hey Bhagwan, if you give me this, I will, come and do this for you. I will do a yagya for you, or I will offer this chapan bhog for you. Right? Who are we trying to fool? Even Krishna is smart, even God is smart. He also will give us accordingly then. But when we do it for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, right, we do not want anything in return. Then what we receive is beyond even what we can imagine. So over here, right, they both became cursed, Malyavan and Pushpavati. After being cursed in this way, both Malyavan and Pushpavati received ghostly bodies and began to spend their miserable lives within a cave of the Himalaya mountains. As a result of receiving ghost bodies, both of them felt intense distress and lamentation. So all of their beautiful bodies that they had was now gone. They were in the body of a ghost suffering. And that same, right, what love they had for each other had turned into distress, into lamentation, into suffering. They could not take pleasure in the sense of smell, touch, or sleep because they're a ghost. You cannot smell anything, you cannot sleep. Full time, you're just wandering here and there, distressed. You cannot smell anything. While wandering in the dense forest and cold mountainous regions of the Himalayas, they sat down in one place and began to consider the sinful activities they had committed to receive such miserable ghost bodies. Just imagine, just think, Krishna has been so merciful unto us. He has given us this human body. We can still get up and move around. We can speak. We can think. We can chant His holy name. Right? Make use of this because today we can afford to do so. But when in the future we don't know. And hope this never happens to anyone, but we don't know if we can even speak or chant or do anything. And at that time, we would want to chant Krishna's name once, but it will be so expensive. Our body will not allow us, our mind will not work. We don't know what is going to happen. So we should chant as much as we can every day. You listen to all of the saints, all of the sadhus. One thing, everyone, that everyone says is to chant Krishna's name, chant Krishna's name, chant the name of Hari. Because that is the only medicine for this Kali Yuga. Right? That is the only medicine. During COVID also, right? Everyone, when the vaccine came out, what did they encourage people to do? To take this vaccine. Because that was the only way to prevent the rise of severe COVID and potentially death. When we are sick, when we need antibiotics, right, the doctor gives us the medicine. So similarly, in this Kali Yuga, we are all suffering. What can we do? The medicine, right, was given to us. That simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then when the COVID vaccine came out, you saw all of the public figures, the leaders getting that vaccine first and showing, right, this is how I am protecting myself, I'm protecting my family. So similarly, Krishna came down to show us how to perform this activity, right? That how one should live their life in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came down as Radha Krishna himself. And he showed us the chanting, the dancing, the feasting, right? That is the only way. That is the only way. Simply chanting Krishna's name, remembering Krishna, eating his Mahaprasad, right? And dancing and feasting. That is what life is all about. Simply remembering Krishna, chanting his name. Yes, we have to perform all of our other responsibilities. But whenever we have time, instead of sitting on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, right, take out some time and chant. So over here, as they were thinking that why they received such ghostly bodies, they felt sadness and remorse for their behavior. They spent the day without taking any food while repenting their misdeeds. That day was the auspicious day of Jaya Ekadashi. Although they were extremely afflicted with hunger and thirst, they did not kill any living entity on that day. They even abstained from taking any roots, fruits, or water. In this way, they were sitting under a banyan tree in a miserable condition when the sun was about to set. Due to freezing cold and absorption in deep thought, they felt great despair and spent that night without sleeping. Because of their distress, no propensity for sense gratification appeared in their hearts. In this way, they unknowingly observed the vow of Jaya Ekadashi. By the influence of the piety accumulated from observing this vow, the very next day they attained liberation from their ghostly bodies. So simply, unknowingly, they did not eat anything, they did not drink any water, they did not have any desires in their mind, any sense gratification, any lusty desires. They focused, they were just in deep thought, and thinking about their suffering because of that they did not eat anything, did not drink anything, they did not kill anyone, and they were sitting under a banyan tree and they spent the whole night under a banyan tree. And the next day, or the very next day, when it came time to break the fast, they attained liberation. Right? So this goes to show that the Ekadashi fasting, even if we're suffering from any curses, any distress, all of those get washed away. We may not even know. Today, people say that our planets are not in the right position, right? That or someone has done black magic on you, someone is doing this to you. Ekadashi fasting gets rid of all of that. Imagine over here, Malyavan and Pushpavati were cursed by Indra, the demigod, the king of the heavens, right? Is anyone who may be doing black magic or cursing us or doing anything on us bigger than Lord Indra? No, even Lord Indra's curse in one Ekadashi was washed away, vanquished, as if it did not exist at all. So that's why when we're fasting for Ekadashi, when we're having darshan of Lord Krishna, when we're having darshan of Lord Jagannath, it is said that if you look in the left eye of Lord Jagannath, in the right eye of Lord Jagannath, and you have darshan of the entire lotus face of Lord Jagannath, all of our planets, they automatically come in the right place. Right? All of the planets come into their right place and everything works in our favor. Fasting for Ekadashi, right? See the sins, all of their curses are getting washed away. Forget about the sins. Even if someone may have cursed us or is doing anything to us, all of that gets washed away by Ekadashi fasting. So we should chant and fast on Ekadashi and auspicious days. So thereafter, Pushpavati and Malyavan regained their original positions and returned to heaven. They happily approached Lord Indra and offered their humble obeisances. When Indra saw them, he was struck with wonder. Even Lord Indra was surprised. He asked them, by the influence of which deity has your ghostly condition been destroyed? Which demigod has freed you from this curse? And Lord Indra already knows that there's no one bigger than Lord Krishna. Right? Because he performed the Govardhan Leela that happened was because Lord Indra made it rain for 7 days. And then he realized his mistake because Krishna was protecting all of the Vrajvasis from the rain. So Malyavan said, by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord and the result of observing the vow of Jaya Ekadashi, which is very dear to him, we have become free from the curse. Oh Master, I am telling you with full conviction that we have been freed from our ghostly forms simply by the influence of devotional service. What devotional service? Fasting for Ekadashi. Even that is devotional service to the Lord, bhakti to the Lord. After hearing these words, Indra told Malyavan, you have become purified as a result of executing devotional service to Lord Vishnu and observing the vow of Ekadashi. Therefore, now you are worshipable by me also. That same Lord Indra who cursed Malyavan and Pushpavati is now worshipping them. He's saying you are worshipable by me also. Right? Imagine those demigods who people are praying to that give me a house, give me a son, give me a daughter, give me success, give me this, give me that. They are saying that the humans who are fasting for Ekadashi are worshipable by us also. Right? Those human beings who are engaged in devotional service of Lord Vishnu are certainly worshipped and respected by me. Lord Indra is saying this. That means when we pray to Lord Krishna, we chant his holy name, we offer obeisances to Krishna, the demigods also become very happy that this human being is making the right use of his human life. Where else? Otherwise, Lord Indra, right? How can we please that Lord Indra? It's not easy, and he himself is saying over here that those human beings who are engaged in devotional service of Lord Vishnu are certainly worshipped and respected by me. Sri Krishna said, O King Yudhishthir, that is why one must observe the vow of Ekadashi. Observance of the vow of Jaya Ekadashi takes away even the sin of killing a Brahmana. The secondary fruits of observing this vow that one automatically receives the piety of giving charity, performing sacrifice, and visiting the holy places. If one properly follows the vow of this Ekadashi with faith and devotion, then he lives in Vaikuntha forever. What else do we want? Then you never take birth again and we go back to Godhead. And so the Ekadashi Katha ends over here. So if we have still time left in the day, we should chant as much as we can, right? Even if not possible, 5-10 minutes are there before bedtime. Chant, chant, chant. And tomorrow is Nityanand Trayodashi. So on this Jaya Ekadashi, today we also celebrated the appearance day of Lord Varahadev, Krishna who manifested in the form of Varahadev. And tomorrow is Nityanand Trayodashi, where Lord Nityananda manifested on this earth during the time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to spread the glories and the whole of the holy name and spread the chanting of the holy name with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityanand Prabhu is none other than Lord Balram, who is the first expansion of Lord Krishna. And also Balram and Nityanand Prabhu are Guru Tattva because they are always in service of the Lord and they have the pure knowledge that we are always begging for their mercy. Because it is said, without the mercy of Guru Maharaj, we cannot receive the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu. Without the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu, we cannot receive the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we cannot receive the mercy of Radha Krishna. This is a whole chain. So it's a very auspicious day tomorrow. But because the Ekadashi, Dwadashi, and Trayadashi Tithis are all kind of like this, today we fasted fully till 12 o'clock for Varahadev, for Nityanand Trayadashi, and tomorrow we break fast accordingly. At the time that we have to break the fast, because it is the Tithi through which we have to break the fast. So break the fast in the right time, and also celebrate Nityanand Trayadashi, right? Sankirtan Sada Hari. See Krishna Sankirtanam. Right? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Chaitanya Sikshastakam, Kirtanya Sadahari, right? The chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And even in the Chaitanya Sikshastakam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu writes that Krishna, you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. So chanting Krishna and performing his kirtan, singing his glories, chanting his holy name is the only medicine for this Kali Yuga. So we'll end here with that. So today is the auspicious Ekadashi day, tomorrow is Nityan Trayadashi day. Chant as much as possible on these days and so we can go back to Godhead. So we'll end here. Before we end, we'll chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare